Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soren Review. And today we're going to be doing Darlington Throwbacks. I'm going to give my personal thoughts um, of this year's, Darlington Throwbacks. Of course, now we have two Darlington races, so instead of it being in September like it normally would, now it's in May. I had to do something with sponsorships and the playoffs and stuff. Now, as of recording this, and also thank you to J-Ski for creating this compilation of all the images. Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Cody Ware have not made an announcement. There is no picture of Kevin Harvick yet, and we know Buescher, Bell, DiBenedetto, and JJ Yaley are not running a throwback. So let's get started. We got a lot to go through. I'm only doing Cup Series. I know there's a lot of Xfinity and Truck Series, but the video is going to be too long. Let me just say, almost all of them are really good. I love Michael Annette, too. It's the Gatorade car. If you Google it, it's really good. So let's start off. This is Quinn Huff's throwback to John Andretti's RCA paint scheme. Very nice, right? It's very similar to John Andretti's paint scheme. They even have RCA right there. They have the slanted zero. Very nice, very, clean. Yeah, Starcom always does pretty good with their Darlington throwbacks. Next is Austin Dillon's. This was released yesterday. Throwback to Fireball Roberts. Solid paint scheme. I like the last year's. I like this year's. The font change. I like it a lot. Really solid paint scheme overall. Definitely works on the Camaro, even though you can see in the back that it was on a Pontiac, it looks like. But very solid car. This is Kyle Larson's throwback based on his first race car. Not a huge fan of it when they revealed what car he was actually going to throw back to. And then it's not even the same color. This red supposed to be more of like a salmon pink. It's fine. It's nothing special, nothing spectacular. And he'll probably end up winning too because he's very good at Darlington. So. Also, top picks of the week will be on either tomorrow or Friday. Wanted to get this out, though, before the weekend. Here's Tyler Reddick's throwback. This is a throwback to, looks like Marty Robbins. Well, it's Marty Robbins. Marty Robbins is a NASCAR driver. What am I thinking? Or is he? Oh, goodness. My NASCAR history is failing me. Let me see. I'm trying to look up for a name, and I don't see a name. Overall, though, solid throwback. Not going to talk much because I don't know much about it. Here's Ryan Newman's Kohler Generators throwback. Throwback to the 1976 SCCA National Championship scheme, which it was not a stock car like this. It had an open roof. It was. I don't like this one. If you look at the actual car, they didn't even use the right font. The colors are kind of similar. This one, to me, is a dud. I don't like this one. Here's one, though, that is awesome. Corey LaJoie's throwback to Alan Kulwicki. We got this red, the yellow, the blue, right? Gosh, when did Kulwicki run this car? Late 80s, I think, or early 90s? Very, very solid car. Goodness. I don't know if you may have heard that. I sneezed. Jeez. Allergies. Am I right? Next up, though, is Chase Elliott's Hooters car. Now, this was one of the first throwbacks. Again, an Alan Kulwicki throwback. It's solid, right? Very solid. Font change again. Chase Elliott has pretty good throwbacks, and good to see Hooters, in the car. They took, advantage of a Kulwicki throwback. So good job for them. Next is Eric Almirola's Mark Martin Winn-Dixie car. You see, there's the Winn-Dixie car they're throwing back to. They even got Winn-Dixie back on the sides. Solid race car, really solid. I love the flames. It looks very similar. The font, I don't know if they changed the font, but if they didn't, the Stewart-Haas font's already very similar. So solid car, solid race car for sure. Denny Hamlin's throwback to Julius Slick Johnson. There's the original car, and here's Hamlin's. It's a pretty good car. I love that they slanted the Sports Clip logo on the side. Colors are very, they match. You can barely see Hamlin's roof is red, just like Slick Johnson's. Good, solid car. Here's Ryan Blaney's. This is part of the kind of a tie-in with the Advanced Auto Parts Advance My Track Challenge, which you can vote for a few local short tracks to get a huge renovation, I think is what it was. And this scheme replicates his 2010 past series late model race car, so it's a very solid paint scheme. Doesn't, I don't recognize this car, so, but it's solid. I could definitely see this car as a car that would run normally, so very solid. Well, I like this one. Chase Briscoe's throwback to AJ Foyt in 1986. Solid race car. The colors are spot on. The numbers changed perfectly. I like this car. I like this paint scheme overall. But wow, it's a nice car. Hopefully Chase Briscoe will run well. He normally does pretty good at Darlington, so hopefully maybe he can get a good finish. James Davison throwing back to Dick Johnson, who was a fellow Australian as well. From my observations, love all the sponsors, how they're made bigger so that it looks like actual older sponsors. Solid car, solid race car. I'm not saying too much because we got a lot to go through. About halfway done though. Kyle Busch has this throwback, which is not really a throwback. It's celebrating 80 years. Kind of reminds me of 2016 when M&M's was 75 years old. Not very different. That's one of them throwback M&Ms on the back. You can barely see it, along with a brown 18 M&M, or 18 brown number 18. So that's fine. Here's Martin Truex Jr.'s, and this will be matte, but they used iRacing, I think, so matte's kind of hard on iRacing. This is a throwback to Furniture Row Racing, and I heard some people saying that, they don't think it's going to look like Furniture Row. I saw that this car was actually a throwback to the 2016 or maybe 2015 throwback that Martin Truex Jr. ran. I think it was 2015 Martin Truex Jr. Darlington throwback. And it definitely looks similar to this, but I think we're going to have to wait till the track to see this one. It's not, Joe Gibbs ain't doing really good. Really, Denny Hamlin is the best, and Christopher Bell is not throwing back to one, unfortunately, so hate to see that. Here's Joey Logano's throwback to Mario Andretti's first F1 victory from 1971, one of the first ones. Solid. Last year's was solid, at least on the racetrack and in diecast form. This one's going to probably be solid too. Love the gold rims. Simple, but yet looks speedy. Looks awesome. This is a great throwback. Bubba Wallace throwing it back to Wendell Scott. Right? Wendell Scott, known as one of NASCAR's pioneer drivers, one of the first African-American drivers. So good to see Bubba Wallace, throwing back to, someone that, is definitely an inspiration for a lot. And it's a solid paint scheme, too. Very solid. Love the petty-like blue, too. Very nice. William Byron throwing it back to Neil Bonnet, which was Valvoline's sponsor. Again, solid paint scheme. I like to see non-Jeff Gordon throwbacks, right? Sometimes the rainbow stripes can get a little repetitive, so very nice. Very, very nice. Love that Valvoline's coming back, too. They'll be on Larson's car as well later on this season, along with Byron's as well for a few more races. So, great paint scheme. Definitely executed well. Michael McDowell kind of can't get the car full. It's a big one, but I'll put it like that. Throwback to Bill Elliott's paint scheme. This one's solid. Love the gold rims. Also, I don't know what type of tire. They run a special tire. Like, this one's running the ones from last year. I think it's this one with white Goodyear logos. I think that's the one they're running, but I really don't know. This is solid, very solid paint scheme. It's solid. Ryan Preece throwing it back to Trent Owens. I'll put it like that so you can see the truck and the paint scheme. It's creative. Definitely creative. We have the flames, right, with from the 15 of Trent Owens, and then they use cheese, right, like it, in exchange for flames because it's Velveeta. Very good, very good, very creative, solid. Um, Definitely better than some of the Velveeta paint schemes before. So very good. Anthony Alfredo is also throwing it back to Alan Kulwicki. This is the Hardy's paint scheme, or um, if you live on the West Coast like me, it's Carl's Jr. This reminds me of a Hardy's paint scheme. I love that it just says "We Care" Freight Auctions. Just it's solid. It reminds me of Alan Kulwicki, and when it reminds you of the sponsor, that's I think what is really we really want. Now, this is not a throwback. This is more on the play of since Darlington is on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to Margaret Haas, who is, I think, I don't know, the wife or mother of Stuart, or not Stuart Haas, but Haas. What's his name? Oh goodness, the guy that owns Haas, tooling. I cannot remember his name. But solid paint scheme. It looks fierce. I love the flowers all over. It screams Mother Day too. So good scheme. Ross Chastain throwing it back to Hut Strickland in the McDonald's number 27. I like it. It's simple. It's an easy throwback. You can't really go wrong with it. Just wish they maybe would have made more fake contingencies. Would have helped out. But overall, solid paint scheme. Love that they kept the font like Strickland's. I very solid. Very good. Eric Jones throwing it back to John Andretti. STP back on the car, of course. It's a solid car. If this was a regular car, I don't think I would like it because it's orange on red on yellow on lots of colors clashing. However, that's what the actual scheme looked like. So, I can't complain, but solid. Hopefully the orange will be a little more like neon like in the actual car. So we'll have to see. Oh boy, this is the one everyone's talking. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s throwback to Ricky Craven. And let me get this so I can see both of them. Yeah, that's about the best I can do. So there's the actual car, right? Ricky Craven's Tide car. Very recognizable. And there's Stenhouse's car. They did not execute this well. I see what they were going for, trying to maybe keep the Kroger blue and replace it for orange and then keep that fade in the back, but they failed to even do that. It does not even resemble Ricky Craven. You tell me this is a throwback, I would not believe you because this is not a throwback. They didn't get the colors back here, in the back of Stenhouse's car right. They didn't even do the Tide logo right. They should have. The Tide logo's huge and really nice right here. All this, and look at all this wasted space. Right, just bad, just very bad. I don't like it. This is worse than Newman's throwback for sure. Alex Bowman's throwback to his crew chief, Greg Ives. Greg Ives, I think late model car. It's bright, it's bold. I don't know what the actual car looks like, so I can't assume. So I can't make a judgment if I haven't seen the other one. But it looks solid. Gonna pop on the track. If he goes to victory lane, man, what a race to win! It's gonna look really cool. So very bright, very bold. You'll definitely recognize it. Solid. Here's a really good one. Lenny Pond throwback. Josh Balicki, Insurance King with the Burger King like logo, right? Making their logo like the Burger King logo. Best darn rates, best darn burgers. Very solid, very solid. The contingencies, they did that. Solid. Very, very solid throwback. Rick Ware, I think that they're only having 2 of their cars throwback, and they did great. Wow, like this is easily, in my opinion, one of the best ones. Font's the same, just solid, very solid. Here's a Happy Mother's Day / throwback to, who is it? Robert Presley. Now, again, I don't know what the car is throwing back to. Should probably do my research first, but I know most of these. But it looks like the font's changed. It looks solid. And I like that they're keeping with the Happy Mother's Day too. So good, solid paint scheme. BJ McLeod's throwback. I saw this one to Joe Weatherly's last one. I saw the car. Looks solid. Looks almost identical, right? The Ford Mustang, due to its boxy nature, it allows for it to throw back to older cars and really look good. So solid, very solid for sure. Last one, Daniel Suarez throwing back to Camping World 50th anniversary, 55th anniversary, 55th anniversary. I saw this all over Twitter. Two lefty designs and another design. Really good designers. Gosh, what was his name? Lefty's design and someone else. Oh, goodness, I feel horrible for not remembering. But they worked together because Marcus Lemonis wanted them to work together on this paint scheme. Looks solid, very solid. Love the simple, but yet clean. It looks furious. I love the green and red. It really fits in with the yellow and the blue. It's just solid. I love the way they made the 99. It's a solid race car. I hope they make this as a diecast because I definitely buy this. That's going to do it, though. For this one, we got, did you see that logo? The ad at the bottom. But that's going to do it. Let me just go back really quick and tell you some of my favorites. So I like Suarez's a lot. I think that's a really one. Lenny Pond throwback, Balicki, I think that's really solid. Let's keep going. Hutch Strickland, I love that throwback. The Anthony Alfredo one's really good. Let's keep scrolling here. Wendell Scott throwback's really nice. Oh, I like Logano's. That's a good throwback. Chase Briscoe's I really like. Blaney's pretty good. Almirola's solid. I like that one. I love LaJoy's throwback. I think that's really good. Austin Dillon's is great. So that's going to do it. We'll see if Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, Cody Ware make an announcement. Harvick has a throwback, but has not been released. And Chris Buescher, Christopher Bell, Matt DiBenedetto, and JJ Yeley not running a throwback for this race. So that's going to do it. Make sure to watch Top Picks of the Week on either tomorrow or Friday. And we'll see you in the next video. Remember, you can use code Soren72 to get free shipping off all orders $20 or more when you order from Circle B at iCast. Great deal, save like $5. Also, follow me on Twitter if you want, @ReviewSoren. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Goodbye.